Hi guys, this is Harvinder Singh and today we are going to cover this transition background effect, and we are going to do it with HTML, CSS and a little bit of JavaScript. And yeah, let's have a look at this effect, what this actually means. So when you scroll it, the background color changes automatically when you scroll, and when you go up it goes back to its original color. So we are using the background color the same as this image color so that it blends nicely and gives our website this aesthetic look. Yeah, and it's pretty simple to code. It's nothing crazy going on here. Yeah, so let's get into our VS Code and let's start coding. Okay, so here we are in our VS Code section, and we only have this image here that we are going to use in our project. So let's start with making a HTML file, and this is going to be index.html. Now let's make this style.css file also, and let's make a app.js file also. Now come to this. Now let's see, this is the index file, and let's bring up this boilerplate here. Okay, what it is? Okay, I don't know why it is typing here. I'm so sorry. Okay, let's bring up the boilerplate here and hit tab. So here we have our boilerplate. Now let's change the title to transition background. Okay, so in HTML there is nothing much going on always, because we just make a structure of our website in this HTML page. So what we are going to do here is we just need two sections. One section was there with the heading. Let me show you. This one section was with the heading and the other section was with this heading and this image. So there are two sections. So let's make this two section here. This is going to be the first section, which the heading h1, and in heading we can write here transition background, and we can give some text here that this effect makes your website looks good. Okay, so the first section done here. Now let's do here the second section, and this is the second section, and here we are basically going to do the same thing. Like we have the h1, and in h1 we are going to write this is the effect, and you can be as creative as you want to be, but I don't want to be creative here, so I'm just going to add some dummy text here in my paragraph section. So yeah, now after the paragraph section I need to add here. Now yeah, we have to add image also in this section. So here's the image. We know that image folder, and here's the image. We can give here alt as image. Okay, that's it. Now let's save it and open it with the live server. Okay, so here is our basic structure of our website. The first section, the second section, the first section, the second section with the image. So that's pretty much the structure. Now let's style this. So as you all know, for styling I just split my screen in two halves. Close this thing. Okay, I just forgot that I have not linked my CSS file, so I'm going to link first my CSS file, and so we are going to link here our JavaScript file as well. So script.source app.js, the file that we made. Let's save this. So now whatever we will do here in the CSS file, we can see live at our website. So let's get started here. First of all, we are going to grab this global element, and we are going to remove all the margin here. Margin is going to be 0, padding is going to be 0, and box sizing is going to be border box. We can add a font family also. Font family is going to be sans serif. Okay, let's save this. Okay, here is the margin and padding have gone. Now let's start building this website. Let's grab the whole body, body of the website, and give it a background color. So as I told you that we are going to have the background color of the image. So how we are going to get it? I do have a cool extension here, that is ColorZilla, and with that you can just grab any color that you want, and you have to just click it, and it is already copied to your clipboard, and when you paste it here you have the color. So this is a very helpful tool that you can have, and there is ColorZilla. I guess this is this ColorZilla. This is what the tool name. You can download this extension for your browser. Okay, now moving ahead, let's save this. Okay, so you can see that now the whole background and the image is blend nicely, but our image looks pretty ugly because it's not let's resize our image. We have the image, and we can give a width of 90%, and we can give a height of 70 VH, and yeah, here it is. So now we have the image here. So now let's style our section. So we are going to give a height of 100 VH to both our sections. Yeah, so here we have. Now we need to do the content. We need our content to be centered here. So for centering, we are going to do display flex, justify content center, align items center. Okay, align items center, and here it is. But now the thing is that when we use the property display flex, it just divide your div into rows. So for that we have to give it a direction here, flex direction column. So now it will bring back all these things. Now let me open it and see. Okay, the image here is kind of stretched out, so we can fix that with object fit cover, and yeah, it's going to fix this image. It's okay. So we can have this H1 and P1 quite a little bit bigger. So font size is going to be 3 rem of H1, and yeah, it is okay. We can also give a margin of 2 rem. Okay, fine. Going to be P. We are going to give a margin bottom of because see this, we are going to give a margin bottom of 2 rem here. Okay, yeah, so it just separate the photo with this line. Okay, so now let's add one more class here, that is we are giving a name of transition, and we are going to give a background color white. Let's give white smoke, and nothing changed here because this is the background color that we want to change on transition, right, when we scroll. So because we haven't assigned this transition class to any of the elements, so nothing happens here. We are going to do that in our JavaScript section. So with this, our CSS section is done here. So let's move on with the JavaScript. Okay, now coming to the JavaScript part. I know many of you have been waiting for this because here the real magic happens. So firstly, we have to see that what we are trying to do. So what we are trying to do is when we scroll through half of the page, we want our background to change. So when we scroll half the page, when we have scrolled half the page, we want our background to change, right? So here what triggers our function is the scroll. When we scroll, right, when we scroll through half the page, so we have to add an event listener for scroll. Okay, so let's add an event listener on window dot add event listener, and this is going to be scroll. It will listen to the scroll, and whenever it will listen to the scroll, it will trigger a function that is change background. So let's change BG, right? Okay, so let me explain you what this line means. Here the window refers to the window object, that is the whole website, this whole window. Okay, so whenever there is a scroll, this event listener will listen to the scroll and it will trigger this function. This is known as callback function. So now let's create this callback function, that is change background, and let me show you how it works. Function change BG. Let me console out for you dot hi. Okay, so I have saved this. Let me save this, and let's open inspect console, and you can see hi here because we have already we might have scrolled, but see, when we scroll more, you can see here 3, 4, and when we scroll here, it's going to be 25, 30, 40, 50. Okay, so these are again and again this is being triggered whenever we scroll. Okay, so whenever the event is listening, whenever it is listening to our scroll, it's triggering this function. So this is how it works. Okay, let me show you one more property of this window object. This window object have this property known as scroll Y. Okay, so what this actually gives is, let me show you. When I scroll, okay, so here I am on top of the page, so it gives me the value 0. As soon as I go down, you can see the value increases. So this gives me this scroll Y. Scroll refers to a scroll and Y is the Y axis, and it gives me the value that we have already scrolled. Okay, so this gives me a value that we have already scrolled. Now at this position, that when we are at top, we have not scrolled anything, we are at 0. Here you can see the latest one is 0. As soon as I scroll here, you can see 105. As soon as I scroll more, you can see here 303, all these values. So with this, what we want, that when we have scrolled half the page, we want to trigger that, we want to change our website. So now let's code this and let's see here. So if in this, so whenever it will trigger this, whenever we will scroll, this function will be triggered. So what is this in this function? That if this dot scroll Y is greater than the half of this page, half of the page, right? So how we will get the half of the page? There is another property in the window that gives the height, that is inner dot, this dot inner height, inner HEIGHT, inner height. Okay, but we want that half the inner height, right? So we will just divide it by 2. And when this will happen, what we want to do is that we want to document dot body, we want to add a class that we just made, this class transition one, that has the background white smoke. Okay, so we are going to add this transition class here. Let's save. Okay, so now let's scroll there. As soon as half the page is scrolled, okay, it's getting white. Okay, but the problem here is that whenever we are coming up, so it remains the same. What we are going to do is, whenever this is more than half of the page height, make this white, and or else if it is not more than half, then just remove this class. Document dot body dot class list dot remove transition. Okay, so yeah, let's see here. When we are going down, we have this is removing, and when we are coming up, okay, it still didn't work, right? I must have done something. I have misspelled this transition, I guess, so I am going to copy this one. Press V. Let's save this. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting it back. See, and I'm going up. So the thing is that the thing is that our logic is working, but it is happening very sudden, right? There is no subtle effect. It's like, oh, that is what it is happening, and it's just not looking nice, right? So now you have to work really hard to make it smooth, right? I will show you how you can do it, but it's something that you have to really mess around for hours to do that. Okay, kind of joking. You want to see how it's going to be? See here, just add transition all 0.8 seconds and ease. That's all you have to do. And now when you will see, okay, this is the top of the website, and when we go down here, okay, see this subtle change in the background color, and that's it. And this is it for today, guys. I hope you liked this and you learned something new. And yeah, have a great day ahead. See you soon.